You're standing at the kitchen window, coffee in hand, light coming in low and gold across the yard. There's a bird on the feeder, a chickadee, a house finch, whatever comes to your yard. It's eating, and then it stops. It turns its head, that sharp, precise rotation, and it looks directly at you. Through the glass, through the distance, straight at your face. You think, it's checking for danger. You think, it's deciding if I'm safe. But here's what's actually happening in that fraction of a second. That bird is running your face through a biological recognition system so advanced, so precise, it makes human facial recognition software look primitive. But the reality is far more specific, far stranger than the bird noticed you. Stay until the end, because the last section of this video will change the way you stand at a window forever. Welcome to the bird mind. Let's start with the raw biology, because what a bird sees when it looks at your face is genuinely unlike anything a human can imagine. You have 3 types of color receptors in your eyes: cones, red, green, blue. That's how you perceive the entire visible world. Your bird has 4. That 4th cone detects ultraviolet light, a range of the spectrum completely invisible to you. Colors that have no name in any human language. Colors that you have never seen and never will. When your bird looks at your face, it sees something you literally cannot picture. Subtle UV patterns in your skin. The faint shimmer along your hairline. The particular glow of your eyes in a spectrum your brain was never built to process. This isn't a small upgrade. This isn't slightly better eyesight. This is an entirely different experience of visual reality, layered directly on top of yours, invisible to you, running constantly. And they're not just seeing more colors. They are processing your face, specifically your face, in a way that science only began to understand about 15 years ago. In 2012, researchers at the University of Vienna ran a study with wild crows. 2 researchers, same clothing, same body language, deliberately similar posture. One was friendly, one was threatening. The crows were observed over weeks. What happened next became one of the most cited findings in avian cognition. The crows didn't just remember which human was which. They began warning each other, mobbing the threatening researcher on site, passing that information to birds who had never interacted with either person directly. The conclusion was inescapable. Crows read faces the way humans read faces, individually, persistently, with memory deep enough to share socially. But the research didn't stop with crows. Mockingbirds, magpies, pigeons, certain sparrows. The list keeps expanding. Every year, new species are documented doing exactly this. Your birds, the ones in your specific yard on your specific feeder, are doing this every time you appear. Every single time. They are reading your face, logging it, building a file on you that is far more detailed than you ever imagined. Here's the part most people don't know, and this is where it gets personal. Birds don't just recognize your face as an identity. They read your expression, actively, in real time, while you're standing there thinking you're just watching the yard. Studies on corvids, parrots, and increasingly on common backyard species show that birds distinguish between calm faces and tense ones, between relaxed posture and anxious posture, between a person moving with purpose and a person moving with alarm. When you walk outside moving fast, jaw tight, mind somewhere else, running through your day, your birds feel that before you've done a single visible thing. They are not guessing. They are reading biological signals your body is broadcasting without your conscious permission. But when you slow down, when you stop, when your face is open and you stand there without urgency, without agenda, something different happens. The birds settle, not because the environment changed, because you changed, and they noticed, specifically, immediately. This is documented, measurable, real. Let's go deeper into the architecture. Because the neural machinery birds use to process your face is extraordinary. Birds have a region in their forebrain called the nidopallium caudolateral. In corvids and other highly intelligent species, this region is proportionally dense, functioning in ways that parallel the prefrontal cortex in mammals for pattern recognition, memory encoding, and predictive modeling. When your bird looks at your face, this region activates. It is comparing what it sees now against stored data, against history, against every previous interaction it has logged involving you. Every morning you've appeared at that window, every time you've filled the feeder, every time you moved too fast and they scattered, every time you stood still and they stayed. That moment was recorded, stored, tagged with an outcome. And it's not storing a simple safe or unsafe binary. It's storing nuance. Your face in winter light versus summer light. Your face with a hat versus without. Your face relaxed versus your face distracted. The ledger is specific, layered, ongoing. This is why regulars in a yard see dramatically different bird behavior than strangers see. It is not vague familiarity. It is a precise biological account your bird has been building about you, quietly, the entire time. And what's coming in the next section? It's the moment that changes the entire dynamic. You've already had it happen. You just didn't know what it meant. You've been there. You're watching a bird and somehow, without warning, it looks back. Not at the yard, not at the branch, at you, directly. That moment is not random, not coincidental, not the bird simply noticing movement. When a bird makes direct eye contact with a human, it is a deliberate behavioral choice. Ethologists call it a check gaze, an active assessment, a decision point. The bird is running a specific calculation about you in real time using every tool its visual system possesses. It is asking, in the only way a bird can ask, are you paying attention to me right now? Are you calm or are you a threat? Are you something I need to act on? And here's what most people don't realize. The bird can tell, with an accuracy that is genuinely uncomfortable when you sit with it, whether you are actually calm or merely standing still. Your micro-expressions, the tension around your eyes, the stillness of your shoulders, all of it is visible. All of it is data. All of it is being processed in a spectrum you cannot see by a brain that has been watching you longer than you've been watching it. When that check gaze holds, when the bird doesn't startle, doesn't break away, just stays in that locked moment with you, that is not neutral. That is a positive outcome in its ledger. You were evaluated in real time, and you were found safe. Now I want you to slow down with me, because this is the part that matters most. There's a woman, a real person, not a metaphor, who has been filling the same feeder for over a decade. Same spot, same yard. The original birds are mostly gone, replaced by their offspring and grand-offspring. But the birds still come before the seed is placed. They come when she appears in the window, before the door opens, before anything happens. Her face has been in their biological ledger for over 10 years. In some meaningful, documented biological sense, it has been passed down. Young birds raised in that yard learned from the behavior of the adults around them that this particular face means safety, means abundance, means the world is okay right now. Her face is part of their map. She is woven into their understanding of that yard. She is in their world in a way she never consciously intended and probably never fully understood until someone explained the science to her. And she never trained them, never did anything extraordinary. She just showed up, calmly, consistently, for years. That is all it takes. That is always all it ever takes. Because what your bird sees when it looks at your face isn't just color and contour and expression. Over time, with enough mornings, enough stillness, enough patience, something accumulates in that ledger that researchers don't have a single clean word for. The closest language we have is this. They see a familiarity that has earned trust, not granted, not assumed, earned, through repetition, through calm, through showing up. Most people move through their yards completely unaware this is happening, completely unaware that the birds around them have been watching, building a file, drawing conclusions that right now in your specific yard, there is a bird that knows your face with a depth and specificity that most strangers you pass on the street will never have. It chose to stay. It chose your yard among every yard it could have gone to. And part of why, a documented, measurable, biological part of why, is you. Your face, your particular quality of stillness, your presence. Tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever the light is right, go to your window. Don't have an agenda. Don't rush. Don't perform calm, because they'll know. Just stand there and let whatever bird comes to your yard look at you. Let it run its scan. Let it do its read. Let it update its file one more time. Because somewhere in the biology of that small, improbable creature, in the dense folds of its nidopallium, in the ultraviolet sensitive cones of its eyes, there is a record of you. Not your name, not your story, but your face, in morning light, in winter and summer, in stillness and in motion. Your birds have been paying attention, far more attention than you knew. And now you know. I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a bird look directly at you? Really look, and felt something you couldn't quite explain? Drop that moment in the comments. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.